Yeah, family, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the quick news break. Salute to everybody that was in the chat early. I see Maxine Fiato, the mods in the building early. Salute to Big Task at Hand with his first comment. Definitely, uh, yes. It's been an interesting time. I just want to do a quick little news update, sort of live, because a lot has happened. I'm not even doing no intro music. I'm just getting straight to the point. Matter of fact, let me take the headphones off. Don't need the headphones. Uh, unless you're living under a rock, you know about the biggest trade of the off season. I mean, I think this deal is definitely probably even bigger than the Mikal Bridges trade. Definitely bigger than the Mikal Bridges trade for sure. I have to start this video by eating some crow. I have to start this video by eating some crow. I never thought this would happen. So salute to everybody that's been supporting the channel. Of course, we just reached the 1K subscriber mark. Definitely salute to the Objective Knicks fan nation. The big milestones. So it's kind of crazy that on the same day we crushed the milestone, we then get this, Julius Randle, Carl Anthony Towns trade news. Salute the coach in the building. Salute to the Discord family. I do got some updates I'm gonna have to make, but this is not that show. And also the podcast this Monday will be live at 6 p.m. We got media day. We know there's trade, so this is just to talk about the trade. There's three things that no one's really considering, no one's really talking about. That's what this live is about. But definitely be tuned for that Monday show. It's gonna be action packed. We might have to do a 3 hour show. I think Monday might be a 3 hour show. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We do got subscriber only mode on. Join the movement. I'm here to really, eat some crow because I never thought this would happen. Coach has been telling us about this for a while now. Uh, yes, Coach, I know you don't have to rub it in, but when I first got the news, I was more surprised than anything. I'm gonna keep it real. I was more surprised than anything. But I do have to give my salute to CP from Knicks Fan TV. Right? One of the things we do on this channel, we keep it real. I am the objective Knicks fan. I am a Knicks fan. Everything else is fair for, it's on the table. But he was the one who first kind of made news. He kind of went viral because I saw it when I was looking up something else. I saw it in the Minnesota Timberwolves, their SI, their fan SI. And they was quoting his video. And he said in the video that the Knicks really want Karl Anthony Towns because they want to play 5 out and they want to match what Boston's doing. So the Knicks are going to trade Julius Randle. He thought it would be early in the offseason. So I got to give him the salute because that's the first time I heard it from a content creator that's in the Knicks, community, right? And I actually did a rebuttal video to that saying that, and in my rebuttal to that, I said they would have to trade a Nova boy. Because you know me, I deal with numbers and facts. That's all I deal with. Yeah, we have our opinions and how we feel about certain players. All that to me is secondary. If you want to make a trade, like we talk about trade rumors all the time, if you want to make a trade, you have to have a target. I always say that because when you have a target, then we could do things and look and see if the numbers make sense. So my thing was you would have to trade a Nova boy. Who would have thought they was going to trade a Nova boy? Who would have thought that? That's the only way the Knicks could have made some of these deals that they were talking about, right? Whether it's Brandon Ingram, all the rumors you heard all season. Things the Knicks want. Now, once we got Mikal Bridges, things kind of slowed down as far as superstar trades. Then it became like, key rotational pieces, right? So Coach says this deal opens up a great opportunity for Deuce. I agree, Coach. I think that Deuce benefits and Kolek. Deuce and Kolek benefits the most. But guys, before we jump off the deep end, this deal is not done. This deal is not done. Because as you know, I've been talking about the aprons. There's a lot of restrictions with the aprons. And you know what? I'm going to jump into research mode early, right? Because I need to break this down because there's just been a lot of people going crazy right now talking about a lot of stuff that's just not true, right? So let me so bam, we in research mode. Now, how many of you guys watch the channel remember this article here? This is by The Score. This article does a great job explaining aprons and restrictions, right? So what we know right now is that the Knicks, after this trade, are right at the hard cap second apron level. They can't go above it. So that's the first thing no one's considering right now. Right now, with the trade being constructed the way it is. Now, I'm not sure if there's been any updates in the last half hour. Let me know. But what I'm talking about is not going to change, right? Only thing that's going to change is they make the adjustments that I'm saying that they could make, right? Okay, cool. So look. Now, some of the second apron restrictions, right, is that teams above the second apron at the end of the regular season, let me highlight it so you can see where I'm at, right, will have their first round draft pick 7 years out frozen. So it can't be used later on, right? Hold on. I want to get to the other restrictions. I want to put it on the screen. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Restrictions. Hold on. Okay. So there's a way for teams to hard cap themselves at one of the aprons, right? Okay. So first apron teams, which we can't sign players that's not bought out by the non-taxpayer mid-level exception. This is where I'm at, right? Before being waived. So if somebody gets waived, we can't do that. Hold on, this is the part that I want to read. The roster building restrictions are crippling enough, but these delayed draft pick ramifications, right? They want to create balance. Hold on. Here's my quote that I'm looking for. Hold on. Probably not. Let me see. Big question. Hold on. I'm looking for my quote. I don't want to speak from the top of the head, but I guess I'm going to have to. So, all right. So, look, second apron teams, I'm going to do it like this. Second apron teams, here's the restrictions. Here's where we're facing right now, right? I wanted to speak from the source. It's in there. I just don't have time to find it. So, second apron teams, one thing's about the trade, you have to match salary. So, what we know right now, here is the pieces and the people that's in the trade. Julius Randle, right? He makes about $29 million. Dante DiVincenzo makes about $11.5 million, okay? So that together, that's $40 million, right? A little over $40 million, $40.5 million. You add Jope, who also went in the deal, the player that we got from the Nets, he's making $2.6 million, right? So right now, you have to match salaries. There's an imbalance in the salaries. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see that? Yes. I see y'all guys giving their props. So I need you to see the money right now, though. So right now, Towns makes $49 million. That's a $6 million gap in salary. You know, I could jump back into research mode while I'm talking about this. So I could actually pull up the sports track so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. Okay? Because no one's really talking about the other dominoes that may fall from this trade. So right now, I'm looking at the Knicks. Hold on, make sure you guys can see it. Let me slide this over. So this is the Knicks, all right? So as you can see, Karl-Anthony Towns is there. With Karl-Anthony Towns' salary, the Knicks active roster is at $188 million. You see where my mouse pointer is? Okay. At the bottom, on the right side of the screen. They are hard capped at the second apron, which is also a little slightly over $188 million. And the Knicks right now only have 12 players. So this is the first quagmire. Okay, now I do have some ideas as to how they can get out of this quagmire. Okay. The fillers is Jeffries and Washington. No, Jeffries and Washington are not the fillers. Let me explain why. One, as you can see, when you look at this list, this is the Knicks, by the way, right? Daquan Jeffries and Washington are still Knick cap holds. Now, look, what I'm saying is very complicated. You see that Towns is already on the Knicks, right? The cap hold players don't really count. They count, but they don't really count. The reason why I say that is because the team that gets these players have the right to do everything that's listed right here. right? It's a placeholder for pending free agents, unsigned draft picks, and offer sheets. So they could renounce their rights. So this money is like additional money. It's not the money it's not a part of the money that I'm talking about. The money that I am talking about is the guys that I named: Randle, Dante, and Jope. That's the hardcore money. You add those salaries up, it's $43 million. Towns makes $49 million. We have a problem, Houston. We have a problem. The one way we can free up money is to add a player to the deal to a third team. Because I'm going to talk about some of the other restrictions, right? So second apron teams, which is Minnesota Timberwolves, they cannot do aggregates. We talked about this before, meaning that aggregates meaning you have to send out the same amount of players. So right now, Minnesota, let me go to Minnesota so you can see this is Minnesota's salary cap. As you can see, just follow my mouse pointer. You got Julius Randle, 1. You have Cage Bates Jope, 2. And you have Dante DiVincenzo, 3. Okay? So those are the 3 Knicks guys. They have 22 players, right? So they gotta either way, they gotta cut, they gotta move guys, they gotta make adjustments because they can't take on this many amount of contracts or salaries into the training camp. I think it's a max of 21 players. So either way, they're gonna have to make cuts. What they have to do is add players to the deal, which they haven't done yet. Now, if there's some new updates, let me know. I will be looking. I'm looking at the chat, y'all. Right, because I started preparing for this live for the past hour, so there could be some new updates in the interim. But what I'm telling you, what you have to look for is the players that Minnesota is going to send, because they have to match the amount of they received 3. I showed you the 3 they got: Randle, Dante, Case, and this Jope kid. That's the 3 players they got. Right? They haven't sent out anybody else besides Karl Anthony Towns. So there's an imbalance on money and there's an imbalance in players. Another rule, second apron rule, is no exceptions. So the Knicks and Minnesota, they can't get no exceptions. So let me give you an example of what an exception is. With this trade here that we just did, right? I just showed you how there's a $6 million gap between Towns and Randle, Dante, and Jope's salary, right? That would have normally created a $6 million exception that would have went to Minnesota. Right? And let me see. These are the exceptions that Minnesota has, right? They can't use these exceptions because they're a second apron team. But what you're looking at down here where my mouse pointer is, these are the current exceptions that they have. Okay? These are the current exceptions. They can't even use it because they're second apron. So it's just there as a list of the exceptions they had prior to becoming a second apron team. Hopefully that makes sense. So this is the exceptions that would exist normally, but they don't have access to it. So that means they have to match money, right? And then here's the last kicker, and salute to my man Saponi that helped me because I was speaking in error 2 episodes ago. I said that you can't send out more salary than you take back. No, I had it wrong. It's you can't take back more salary than you send out. So that's another quagmire. So right now, Minnesota has sent out $49 million, right? They can't take back more than $49 million, but they have to send out 2 more players because they got 3 for 1. You can't do that. That's where the third team comes in handy, right? So the second thing I want to talk about real quickly, right? Let's see. Charlotte sending a player to Minnesota. The third team is the Hornets. Okay, I'm getting to that, y'all. Now, Charlotte is not I got Charlotte right here because I stay cocked and loaded. I did a lot of reading and research, guys. To all the people talking about Charlotte, right? Charlotte is above the salary cap, right? They're below the first apron, right? They got $23 million in space, but they don't have an excess in cap money because just because they're not a first apron team, they still have to match salary too. That's why, let me see if I can put this on the screen right quick. Hold on, give me a second. I have a quote here hold on, let me pull this quote up right quickly. Because this quote is very important. Salute to my Discord people. You guys saw this quote that I put up earlier. And this to me is like the person that I believe this was Bobby Marks. Hold on, let me share this Bobby Marks article right quick because he actually gave to me the most realistic update out of anybody in the last 24 hours. So here's the Bobby Marks update, okay? Bobby Marks says because of apron restrictions, what I'm talking about right now, Both teams' details are still being worked out, so this trade is not even done. More pieces got to move, and I'm talking about money pieces. New York is $7 million below the second apron. Minnesota can't take back more money in the trade, what I just said. One name not involved is Deuce McBride. So what we know is Deuce McBride, they don't want to trade Deuce McBride. Cool, I don't want to trade Deuce McBride either, but there is another player that has to go in the deal, and that's going to take me to my second point. So my second point is, in order to make the Knicks side work, the Knicks have to give up one of these players here. Now, the Knicks have to match $6 million in salary, because we know Daquan Jeffries' money does not count. So to the guys that were saying that, he's still here because it's a cap hole. It's rights. It's not an actual roster spot. Daquan Jeffries never had an actual roster spot. Dwayne Washington does not have a roster spot. They are free agents, but they have bird rights, as you can see. That's what this is really about. Bird rights, right? Well, Daquan Jeffries has bird rights. These guys were on two-way deals. So that's all this means. It's not solid players. So more players have to be added. Now, when you look at what the Knicks have to trade, right? Because we got to match $6 million, $5 to $6 million. We have to add to this deal because Towns makes too much money. So we have to add $6 million to this deal. Okay? That's why Bobby Marks put this statement out 5 hours ago via X. So this is what the mad scramble is about. Okay? Because they agreed to a deal, but now you have to make the numbers work, which is the next hurdle. Now, when you look at the Knicks roster, right? We currently have some players that, all right, so we know for a fact that OG Anunoby, Brunson, Bridges, Hart, well, I don't know now. Being that they traded Dante, will Josh Hart go in the trade? Oh, my God. I don't know. Being that they traded Dante, anything can go right now, okay? But we know for a fact that Towns, we just got Towns. OG Anunoby, Brunson, Mikal, they're not going anywhere. We know that. Those guys for sure. Hart is kind of a strong possibility he doesn't go anywhere. Mitchell Robinson, right? He makes $14 million. But we'll come back to Mitchell Robinson, okay? Precious Achiuwa, $6 million. He can't be traded to December 15th. You don't believe me? Let me click his name and show you. See, trade restriction. He cannot be traded until December 15th. So Precious Achiuwa will not be a part of this trade. Okay? You got Deuce McBride, $4.7 million. How much money did I say we need to free up? Towns, $49 million. The combination of guys we sent make 43. So 49 minus 43, $6 million. You still would be short. Even if you add McBride, you still got to cover like another $500,000, I believe. Like if you stick within that 110%. So they would have to add like, $1 million in about a half. So Deuce numbers kind of work, but it doesn't really work. Jericho Sims, these guys make two less money. Sims, Payne, you can't trade till December 15th. Kolick, you can't trade till December 15th. Pacome Dadier, you can't trade until December 15th. So look, so now that leaves you with Deuce McBride, Jericho Sims, and Mitchell Robinson. Out of those guys I just listed, which one of those guys do you think can go on the deal? Because look, another key thing too. I want to say, when you talk about the hard cap, I'm going to point it out for you right here. Second apron. You see that lock? You can't go above this number. We are right here, 188. So we're right there. So the only way to add players, because you only have 12 players with active roster contracts. Two ways don't count. We can count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 players that have active roster contracts. Here's the quagmire. You could say, well, you have Marcus Morris and Landry Shamet, right? Wrong, because you wouldn't be able to sign them because they still have this salary will count towards this 188. So you have to clear that money. So my best guesstimate, this is my best guesstimate, Mitchell Robinson, they're looking to add Mitchell Robinson $14 million to this trade. They're looking to move Mitch. Now, if you guys see any other updates, there's other ways they can go. I mean, you have Deuce McBride. We know they don't want to trade him. But then you would have to gut your team. Sims, Payne, Kolick. Well, no, sorry. Sims, McBride. I'm saying if you don't want to trade Mitch, Mitch only makes sense. You got to get rid of his $14 million. You have to. Because there's no other way to build your team. So that's the first quagmire. You only have 12 players and you're hard capped at 188. You have no space to do anything. Adding Mitchell Robinson is my second thing that I wanted to discuss. Because you can free up money. Now, here's what you can do. We're talking about Charlotte. Charlotte can't do it, right? Because the reason why Charlotte can't do it is because I think Seth Curry is probably the only guy. Hold on, let me see. Seth Curry, can he be traded? Yeah, he can't. Seth Curry can't be traded until December 15th. So once again, Taj Gibson can't be traded. Nick Smith Jr., they're not trading him. He's the rookie. Mark Williams, I doubt they trade Mark Williams. I doubt they trade him. That's the young stud from Duke. Salute to the Duke Blue Devils, by the way. I am a Duke fan. But they're not going to trade him because he's the starting center. Nick Richards is interesting. Nick Richards may be somebody who we've been coveting. He only makes $5 million. So already you see like there's an imbalance here because you can't trade Mitchell Robinson straight up because they don't really have. Now, some of these other guys here, I don't know. I'm assuming this guy here, Mitchik, he's one of their key guys. Can he be traded? When did he come into the league? He came into the league. I'm not saying he's a round 2 pick. Yeah, so he could be traded. Maybe, I don't know if this guy's a part of their future, but look, that's $7 million. That's $7 million, but he's a point guard. Hey, I don't know what their plans is with this guy, but he does make $7 million. But doing it this way, adding salary from the Hornets, makes the Hornets trade more complicated. Because one, you don't know if these guys to them are guys they don't want to move. These guys might be a part of their future, right? Like Cody Martin is another example, right? Cody Martin makes $8 million, but do they add him in the trade with Nick Richards to trade to the Knicks for Mitchell Robinson? Do they do that? Is that a good trade to them? I don't know. Salute to everybody that just joined. I'm just doing a quick little news break update. Let's see. Brock has never lost a deal. This will get done. No, the deal's going to get done. I'm not saying, oh, by the way, guys, I'm not here to say, and I'll jump out of research mode real quickly. I'm not here to say, oh, I'm in the wrong. I'm talking about Gilbert Arenas. Okay, look, I'm not here to say that the trade won't go down, right? That's not the point of this. The point of this live is to show you the things that no one is talking about that I know are the barriers. This is why the deal wasn't done last night completely. The deal was not because they feel like they can easily get another team. Now, the team, I'm going to show you the team that they need to get, right? This is the team. Charlotte could be there, right? But you're going to have, if you like Charlotte, because you might want Nick Richards, you're going to have to add a fourth team. And I'm going to tell you the only fourth team that makes sense. And you might see it as I type it in. The Detroit Pistons is the only team that can help this trade. Unless they find a package for Mitchell Robinson where you can get contracts back. So if the Knicks can get 2 or 3 guys back from Mitchell Robinson, then they don't need Detroit. But I'm just trying to show the fast, quick way to get it done. Because Detroit is the only team that has cap space. This is their active roster, $127 million. The salary cap is $140 million. So they have approximately $13 million. And they can create an exception, right? And let me see if they got exceptions. They don't even have no exceptions, right? So Detroit can literally help this deal go down by just taking on Mitchell Robinson's contract. And then from there, they can waive him. They can do whatever they want with Mitch. They can keep him because it's not like Mitch is going to play. So at that point, they can do whatever they want with him. They're going to have to get Detroit in the deal. And that's what Bobby Marks was talking about when they were looking for teams to help facilitate the deals because of the apron rule. Now, I do want to touch on Minnesota right quick, right? Minnesota, this is their team. Now, what they can do because they have to send 2 players. The money is good for Minnesota. I mean, it has to match. Because the only thing they would have to do is match the money, because they sent out $49 million, so they would have to match it, right? They only accepted $43 million. That's the second apron restriction. So they got 2 players. I already did the science on it. I'm not going to click on everybody. They got 2 players. I only will click on the players that I'm telling you that they can trade. Nickel Alexander Walker, $4.3 million. They can easily add that to the gap to close that $6 million gap, or that $5 million gap. No, the $6 million gap, right? And then they could also add this kid right here, Leonard Miller. They add Leonard Miller's 1.8, Alexander Walker's 4.3. That's the $6 million. They could send those 2 players anywhere. They could send these 2 players to Detroit. They could send them to Charlotte. And then maybe Charlotte takes these 2 players and send them to Detroit. And then Detroit sends Nick Richards to the Knicks. And then the Knicks send Mitchell Robinson to, what's the other team? I said Detroit. So you're looking at something like that, right? Something like that. The Hornets get a 6-man guard. Let me look at their roster right now. The Hornets. Who the Hornets got coming off the bench? Let's see. They got, I don't know these kids. Trey Mann. Is Trey Mann nice? Got this kid Trey Mann. I don't know who Trey Mann is like that. I don't know if he's nice like that. But is he nicer than Nickel Alexander Walker? I doubt it. Nickel Alexander Walker, he's a sharpshooter. He shoots 46% from 3. Or even the Knicks could finagle to get Alexander Walker too. That's also another option too, right? There's ways to structure the deal, right? And that's how Minnesota. So that's the 2 players that Minnesota could add, and more than likely, unless we get an update now, and I could check right quick because I stay tapped into the news. But it's gonna be a hurdle, y'all. It's gonna be a challenge. Let's see. Wow, they said Julius Randle made no progress on contract talks. Yo, could you guys explain something to me? And I'll jump out of research mode right quick. Can you guys explain something to me? Why do the Knicks want to pay Karl Anthony Towns $49 million? Max, his last year, his deal is $61 million. But they don't want to give Julius Randle 4 years, $181. Is it that Julius Randle didn't want the $181? Because I'm hearing conflicting reports. Like, I don't know what to believe. You know, it's a lot of people writing a lot of stuff, but they're not really coming from sources. It's just kind of like hearsay. You know, so I ain't going to lie to you guys. If we can get Nick Richards and or Alexander Walker, I think that makes the trade a little better for me. It makes me feel a little better about the trade. I prefer Nick Richards because you need a 5, and Towns don't want to play the 5, right? And I'm not saying Nick Richards is the end-all, be-all, but, you know, he's solid. I mean, we could jump back into research mode. We talked about him before, but salute to everybody that just joined the stream. Let me see, make sure you guys ain't breaking no news. Salute to Knicks Live. Salute to Maxine. Definitely hit the like button. Damn, Knicks 100 says Randle is done? Wow, he said Randle is done. I'm not going to say Randle's done, guys. I don't believe Randle's done. I don't believe Randle's done. Okay, I didn't miss it. No team needs Randle's skill set. Yo, honestly, guys, yeah, let me look at Nick Richards right quick, man. Yo, yeah, the chat, man, ooh, boy. Yo, the chat is not for the sensitive. Salute to the chat. They said Randle's going to be a journeyman. We're going to definitely talk more about Towns, too, because, you know, I ain't going to lie, man. Like I said, if you guys been subscribed to the channel, you know how I feel about Towns. You know, I might even did a video saying why we shouldn't trade for Karl Anthony Towns. I know we talked about it on the pod, you know, but I'm the objective Knicks fan, y'all. I'm not the objective Randle fan, you know. I'm not really bothered by the players in the trade. I'm more concerned about trouble in paradise for the Nova boys. Because remember, that was the big deal. And I'm going to talk more about that on Monday, but man, that Nova boy, seeing the four Nova boys together, man, that was, the allure for the season. That was the allure for the season. Now I kind of feel like it's kind of like gone, So this is Nick Richards, y'all. And they got him as a center and a power forward. So hey, a little versatility there. That's good because Precious Achiuwa's there, and you got Sims. So it's like you can mix match guys. You can that's cool. I didn't realize that he also played the four. But let's see. Of course, he's not a 3-point shooter, but this is what he did last year. He was averaging 9 and 8. Let me see. His field goal percentage is really good, 69%. That's incredible. And his free throw percentage, he's a 73% free throw shooter. If I'm the Knicks, you know what Mitchell Robinson has been? Get this kid. This kid needs to be in the deal. I will feel a lot better if they can get him. I'll take the Walker kid from Minnesota as a consolation prize too, because I like the kid from Minnesota. We could pull him up too. I like him. He is he's a good shooter, and just so we can actually hold on, let me get him up here too. Oh, how you spell this kid's name? Nickel Alexander. Let's do Alexander. Wow, yeah, right here. Let's look at his stats right quick. Right? And I already looked at his stats, but I just want to put it on the screen too. Look, he only averaged 8 points. But look, he was averaging when he was younger in his career, he was averaging 12. Look, he had 12 points a game when he was with the Pelicans, right? 10 points a game. He was a double-digit scorer. Minnesota, they kind of limit his role because he's kind of like, I know they got shooting guard here, but he kind of plays a little backup point guard too at times. And he's 6'5". I like that he's 6'5". Right? He gives good hustle and effort on the defensive end. I'm not saying he's a defensive stopper. Don't get that twisted. But this is the one thing I like about him. He's 6'5", and he shoots 39% from downtown. Now, he kind of is a 3-point bandit where he doesn't do anything else but shoot threes. Like he really likes to shoot the three ball like a lot, right? He's not, but he has some decent athleticism. I'm not saying he's on Dante DiVincenzo's level of athleticism, but if you could get him as a throw-in a deal, I take him. Oh, salute the Brother Garfield podcast in the building. Salute to everybody if you're checking in, man. I'm just giving you some particulars that no one's talking about. No one's talking about the $188 million salary hard cap. No one's talking about that. No one's talking about the fact that we have 12 players under contract, right, currently, right, as the way this deal is constructed. And now you have to still add 3 players and you don't have money to do it. No one's talking about adding Mitchell Robinson to the deal. I haven't seen no one really talk about that. I think Mitchell Robinson should be added to the deal, right? And then also I think that they should consider adding Detroit to the deal and making it worth Detroit's while. Hey, do us this solid, take Mitchell Robinson. You ain't doing nothing else with the money. Take Mitchell Robinson's salary, right? And let the Knicks, do what they do. And then you could send Alexander Walker to the Hornets and then send Nick Richards to the Knicks. Or send both of them to the Knicks. I don't know how however they want to do it, but there's ways to get the deal done. I'm just giving you what my ideas are. And Mitchell Robinson has to go. How you guys feel about losing Mitch? How you guys feel about losing Mitch? Let's see. Are you saying as a Knick or his career? That's wild. If his career, he's a 3-time All-Star, 2-time NBA. He popped his shoulder and had surgery. What are the odds of surgery? All right. So look, to the guys that was worried about Julius Randle's surgery, I have something breaking that I want to share with you. Okay. And you know what? I'll do it in research mode. I'm gonna type something in that some of you guys may not have known. If you guys are worried about Julius Randle's shoulder, I just want to show you something, right? I'm going to type in here Jalen Brunson's injury history, okay? I'm going to type in Jalen Brunson's injury history. Okay? All right, bet. You already know my number. To all the people that rock with me, you know my site is Fox Sports. Jalen Brunson had shoulder surgery. He dislocated his shoulder too. This was back in 2020. And you see what Jalen Brunson became. So he had a similar injury to Randle. To those people that are talking about Randle's shoulder, Brunson also had a shoulder surgery. Not sure if you guys knew that. My question is, like, and how long we've been rocking? Okay, we've been rocking for 35 minutes. I'm not going to go too long. I just wanted to give this update. But my thing with with Randle is that there's a lot of question marks. Hopefully we'll get some answers. But I was never concerned about his health, because I understood like the part of his shoulder he had surgery on was a support. It wasn't the structural integrity of the shoulder. He had a structured shoulder to help support his shoulder. So he had no real damage. That's why if you guys remember when the MRIs came out, they were saying there was no real damage, and that's why he was trying to give it a go. That wasn't really the issue. So his shoulder is fine. The issue I'm looking at right now is that they didn't make any progress on contracts, and I told you guys this too on when I gave you guys the standard that we should follow, which is we should wait until August 3rd when Randle was due for his extension, right? I said, let's wait till then, and then we can decide, go with the rumors, because there was too many rumors. But we have to see, because he could have literally signed the deal. So clearly there was some contract issues. Another thing, too, there's been rumors about Dante DiVincenzo not wanting to come off the bench. Do you believe this? After all the... Listen, man, this thing is... I wish I had a horn sound bite or like some type of like shock sound bite. I'm going to get that. I'm going to work it on my soundboard. But we did a show getting on Gilbert Arenas. Salute to you viewers on that Gilbert Arenas show. And Gil was saying, there's no way Dante wants to go to the bench. Do y'all remember that? And now there's rumors. I don't know if it's true. Maybe we'll get more insight on Monday or tomorrow or later on today. I don't know. But there was rumors that Dante did not want to come off the bench for his boy, Mikal Bridges. And but then I did see reports saying that's not why they added him to the deal. So even though that was the rumor, there are other reports saying that even though there may be some tension there with Dante, that wasn't the reason he was traded. The reason why Dante was traded is because Minnesota wanted Dante bad. Minnesota wanted Dante last year. But the Knicks was his first choice. Nova Boys. And that the thing about it is, and it's crazy how one of the points that Gil said, now Gil's entire premise to me wasn't correct, but one of the things that Gil said was that Dante tasting the stardom of being a starter, he may want to keep that. But my thing is in Minnesota, they kind of stacked at the guards too. Will Dante start in Minnesota? Let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens. But that's just interesting to me. I'm gonna wait to really unpack that too, because like I said, by the time we do the podcast on Monday, this week inside the New York Knicks, we should have a lot more insight. We should definitely have a lot more insight. But right now, this is the information we got. These are the things that no one's considering. We know for a fact, no matter what happens, Minnesota has to send out 2 players. We know that the Knicks also have to probably more than likely trade Mitchell Robinson. Thank you, Knicks will be champs. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Salute the Knicks will be champs, right? Salute to all of the mods in the building. Salute to all of Wacko in Brooklyn. Man, I ain't see Wacko in a minute. Salute to Wacko in Brooklyn. So wait a minute. Is this your starting lineup? Brunson, Bridges, OG, Morris, and Cat? That's why the Mitchell Robinson trade is important, because you have to bring Morris. If you want Morris, your Exhibit 9 and 10 guys, you have to have money to sign them. The Knicks can't sign them the way the roster is constructed. So don't be surprised, y'all, if Mitch is in the trade. Don't be surprised. Senior said no, 35 starting, stop it. I mean, I wouldn't want to ride Marcus Morris for the season. I do think that He's kind of in the latter days. I think what would make Marcus Morris effective is coming in 15-minute, 10 to 15-minute a stint off the bench. I think Morris can get his all and be very effective, but I wouldn't start him. So my thing is too, like with trading Mitch, you get Nick Richards. Nick Richards will be your starting center with Cat at the 4 because Cat wants to be a 4. Cat does not want to play the 5. Maybe he'll do it temporarily, but the Knicks are going to have to get a 5 because Cat don't want to be a 5. He wants to be on the perimeter, man. I'm still working it out, guys. I know it's been tough. Senior says Charlotte won't give up Richards. But if they can get Alexander Walker, if they can get Mitchell Robinson or some of the other guys on the teams, why wouldn't they? He's ahead of the hold on, you said that Nick Richards is ahead of Williams? Really? Okay, hold on, whoa, hold up. Wait, whoa. Let's go back into research mode. Hold up. I like that. You said he said Williams is behind Nick Richards in the depth chart? That means something. Hold on. Charlotte Hornets depth chart. We're going to pull that up right now. Let's see what the projected depth chart is, because if Williams is behind Richards, I take Williams. If Williams is behind Richards, which no, he's not. Well, he's out, so I'm not sure if Mark Williams has an injury. They got him out right now. So I guess, hey, maybe you're right. Maybe they don't want to trade Nick Richards because they need centers. But on the depth chart, Mark Williams is a starter. And I could have sworn Mark Richards started last year. I thought he was the starter last year. I could have sworn he was the starter last year. Was I wrong about that? Let me see, 19. He only played 19 games last year because he was hurt. And I guess he's still hurt from that same injury. So hold on, let's pull up Nick Richards. So let's see. Nick Richards, did he start? Let's see. Yeah, he did start. So I get what he's trying to say about Nick Richards, but Nick Richards only started because Williams was hurt. Because you see, he started 51 games, he played 67. So he only started because Williams was hurt. Williams is the starter. I don't think they want to move off of Williams. But I tell you what, if they did want, well, Williams is hurt. Do you want another injury? Man, this thing is too complicated. Guys, do you see the complications with this thing? But I see why he's saying they won't trade Nick Richards now. That makes sense. So now the Knicks, I mean, you're going to have to get a center still. So this Karl Anthony Towns trade might temporarily fix the starting spot. But if they're going to move off on Mitch, what are you going to do with Mitch? You're going to keep Mitch? I don't know. But you got to make the numbers work. The Knicks have to move. They have a logjam in the salary cap. Let's see. Yeah, we checked it. You can let that rest. He's not leaving. So, I mean, Mitchell Robinson has to go in the deal, guys. It only makes sense. And I think partially the reason that could be happening right now is they probably having a hard time getting suitors for Mitch because he's hurt. Ah, man, this is a quagmire. Let me see. Jalen, Deuce, Bridges, OG, Towns. So you want to start Deuce? I thought Deuce was going to be the backup, like the sixth man. I'm thinking that they might start. Damn, who would they start? Oh man, that's a good point. You lost Randle, and if you move in Towns to the 5, man, this is a quagmire, y'all. They got to figure this out. We need another good player in return in this Towns. If they get a good player in this deal, which I know they could, if they strategize, I will feel a lot better about the Towns trade. Whether it's a 6-man, kind of wing type guy that can score and, give you what Quickly was given a little bit, or if it's a starting center. But they got to do something. Hart should stay the 6-man. let Deuce start, I ain't gonna lie. Even if you start harder Deuce no matter what, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. This trade technically would make them better defensively. Because if your starting lineup is Brunson, Deuce, Bridges, OG, and Towns, that's a pretty... Yeah, we can still be first in defense with that type of lineup because those guys are going to defend. They locking up. That's one thing you know for sure. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm gonna miss Randle. I used to always say he's the most pure power forward in basketball. I just feel like losing him, I just hope Towns can live up to the hype, man. Because real quickly, I could pull up Towns right quick. Karl Anthony Towns was a hooper, man. I just felt like his better days was behind him. Like that's... I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to weigh in too much because the trade is not done, and if they can get the players that I think that they could get, I would be a lot happier. I really would feel a lot happier. But the jury's still out on that. Hold on, before we wrap up, because I'm gonna wrap up. This is what he was doing before. If he can get back to this right here, you see this 2020, y'all, the 26 and 10 with 4 assists. If Towns can do that now, Randle is like, yeah, we love you, but man, if he can get back to 20, because Randle never had numbers like that. Randle was never given. Randle, I think his high was 25, right? If Towns can give you the 26.5 with the 11 rebounds, right, and shooting 41% from 3, if Towns can do that, okay. That's what we're hoping for now. Now that he's a Knick, we're hoping that he can get back into his bag, so to speak. And the crazy part about it is, well, he only played 35 games, so we don't want the injury, right? We don't want the injury. So let's go to a more healthy year. Let's go back to the 24 and 9. If he can do 24 and 9, I'll take that. Because that's what Randle did last year. 24 and 9. The assists, you got to give me an assist more. If he could give me 4 or 5 assists, with the 24 and 9, I'll take it. But now, when you lose Randle, you lose Hartenstein, and possibly Mitch. Now you lose your rebounding edge. So now we lose the glass. Listen, man, in Leon Rose we trust, guys. Look, guys, this has been a great, great show. I salute to everybody, man. Randle was giving us 25, 11, and 7? Really? I know what you're talking about. Knicks will be chance. I know what you're talking about. Just to have fun. Let's pull up Randle's numbers. This is what we're going to be losing, y'all. This is what we're going to be losing. He said 20, but he didn't do it for a season, though. Knicks will be champs. But this right here, this 25 and 10, yeah, that's 25, 10, and 4. Yeah, that's... If Towns could give us that, if Towns could give us 25, 9, and 4, I'd be happy. Hell, if he gave me 24, 9, and 4, I'd be happy, right? So we'll see. But I'm with you. Knicks will be chance, man. But that's all for this. This is a little quick news upbreak, y'all. Thank you for rocking with me. Definitely check out the channel memberships. We have memberships available. We have 2 tiers. We have the Starter Knicks package, and we got the Hardcore Knicks fans. Get in there. We got parlay builders, right? When the season starts, we will be doing the parlays. I'm going to do members-only live streams. I'm going to do members-only lives. I'm really tapped in. Join the Objective Knicks Fan Nation. Get inside the memberships, y'all. Definitely subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tune in Monday. It's going to be an action-packed show. We got media days. Now we got 2 media days, y'all. We got the T-Wolves media day as well. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Salute to Maxine. Salute to Coach. Knicks 100. Senior. Salute to everybody. At APAP. Salute to Wacko in Brooklyn. Salute to everybody. Salute to J-Tap. Salute to everybody, man. Thank you guys for rocking with me. And until next time, y'all. Let's go. Knicks.